Welcome to I Bet You Think This Podcast is About You. This is episode 15. This is S and Linda, not S and M. M has a lot of things to do right now. So, hi M out there. Text me some more because I miss you. Anyway, this is S and Linda, and we are here to talk to you again about access to personality disorders and living with people who have access to personality disorders and surviving those relationships, maybe, hopefully, escaping from them. Say hi, Linda.
Hi. It's great to be back.
Sitting there looking at me. We actually have another guest who's supposed to be here, but she had some shit to do, so she's on her way in. So if she walks in, we'll mention it. Anyway, we are not mental health professionals, never had a mental health professional on here yet. Maybe that'll change someday, but we are just regular people. We are not diagnosing anyone on this podcast, at least.
You could by now.
I mean, I feel like I could. You know, my own therapist was like, you don't have to be a therapist if you've lived with somebody that long. You know when they're a narcissist,
right?
Which is true. It's true. But yeah, we don't know that they're a narcissist. It's just, our pontification. So we do this podcast to reach out to all of our friends and families because we are concerned that you out there who've lived the same lives we have too much shame to come forward and talk about your experience. And that is just too bad because I think there's more of us than we know. So we're going to start before I introduce the topic. Well, wait, okay. I'm just going to introduce it. Why not, right?
It's a good topic.
It's episode 15, and it's called The Elephant in the Room, which is my little plan words. This episode is about Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Little elephant, little Republican elephant. I thought that was witty. I thought that was clever. What do you think? You with me, Linda?
I get it.
Oh, good. Good. Is that less than anybody? Okay. In talking about how Donald Trump has affected all of us in our lives. But before we do that, because it seems like this show might be a little bit of a downer, so we got wine. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. Cheers.
We're going to do our daily high-low, and I'm going to make you go first.
Of course. Wow. My low. I feel like this is a little shallow, but it's for real. It's happening. My jeans are tight.
That's your low?
I'm in so much pain.
Stand up. Let me see.
Oh my gosh. So.
Oh, they are. Girl.
So.
Oh, those are tight.
They didn't used to be this tight.
This is the fucking dryer did that to your jeans.
Right? Uh-huh. So I'm just a little sad. I don't wear jeans often.
I know.
I live a lifestyle of
the yoga pant.
Yeah, the yoga pant, athletic gear. However, I'm going on a date tonight, and I'm putting these jeans on to look fancy.
Is it a date with Deep Throat?
It is, yeah.
Oh, and you're wearing fancy jeans?
Yeah.
Is Deep Throat going to wear fancy jeans?
So yeah, they're the stretchy jeans, the skinny jeans. I got my little mini boots, ankle boots on with the heels.
You're looking good.
So thanks. But, unlike most people, I put on my winter weight in the summer. So no big deal. It just happens, the fluctuation. But yeah, my jeans are tight. So as you listeners are out there listening to this, I'm here with a muffin top.
I don't see the muffin top. You look really good. I know the stretchy jeans sometimes don't stretch nearly enough.
No, not enough today. Anyway, that's just what it is. I'm a little low from it, but it's leading into what I hope to be my high of the day, and that is going on my date with Deep Throat. So we're gonna have dinner together tonight. We have reservations. And I think it'll be a lovely time. A couple glasses of wine, some dinner. We'll be in bed asleep by 9:30 p.m. I'm sure of it.
Are you?
But yeah.
Well, that's when I'm going to text Deep Throat and tell him that he needs to read the Google or the Amazon reviews of the 3 Wolf Moon t-shirt, which I highly recommend. I know you don't want him to know about this shirt because he's going to buy one, but those Google reviews are like everything. They're so good.
The 3 Wolf Moon shirt.
Yes. So there's a t-shirt on Amazon.com. And when I read it, I thought of Deep Throat because they're the best written Google reviews ever.
And it's some corny ass shit he would wear.
It's a terrible ass t-shirt. It's terrible. But if you buy one, you get to write a review, and they're magical. They're really good. Anyway. So my high and low, it hasn't been that great, that magnificent of a day. It's rainy as shit.
Yeah, the wind.
And if I lose power in this storm again, I'm going to lose my mind. But that's not even my low because it hasn't happened. So my low is on the way here, I got stuck in my parking ramp. because there's like a hotel that attaches to my parking ramp, and there was an entire bridal party at this hotel, and they decided to pull up 3 Escalades because that was like their party mobile for this like wedding party, and just sit there and wait for them to pack up all of the shit for this wedding. And I'm like, I can't leave. They're right behind me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, move your goddamn Escalade. Like, I need to get out of here.
Right.
And they're like, oh, just a minute. I got another wagon of balloons. And I'm like, God damn it. I have places to go. Like, I have to record a podcast. This is very important. But no, I got stuck in there for like 10 minutes and I felt like I was being like the ragey white bitch. Mm-hmm. And I was, but I also, and like so entitled, I know, but I'm like, get the fuck out of this parking ramp. You are blocking my way out. Go park on the street in front of the hotel. Yeah. That made me mad. And then I felt guilty about it. So that made me feel even worse.
It's okay. Traffic around town has been nuts.
Oh, I know.
Highway construction. I mean, little by little, it's breaking us all down. I believe it.
I know.
You're okay to be angry.
A word to our governor who promised when she won election to fix the damn roads. I really appreciate that, and I voted for you, but don't fix them all at the same time. Because you're doing it right now, and it's pissing me off. It's taking me so fucking long to get home at night. I don't want to live that far away. I feel like it's LA all of a sudden. The volume of traffic in this like mid-sized little town is 10 times what it was
That's
a year
what I'm
ago.
saying. I live in this mid-sized city on purpose. I like a mid-sized city. Not too big, not too small. We still have culture. We still have diversity.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, it feels like we're driving in LA. Chicago, something, and the highways.
You know what you
construction.
need? What are those things? You need one of those little stand-up little robot things to ride. What are those called?
Like a scooter.
You need a
Segway.
What if we all just needed to have a Segway? Awesome.
By the way, I was behind somebody the other day riding a motorcycle, a full motorcycle, with no helmet on.
You don't need one in the state anymore. You don't have to.
That's bullshit,
There's
though.
no helmet law. I know. All those vigilantes out there.
God.
So anyway, my high today is so low, but you know, it's the highest of the high. I met you earlier for coffee, and then I was like, that was great. And then I was like, I'm really hungry and I need to eat something. So I decided, I was following you, by the way, because I was going to go to my car, and then I was like, no, I'm going to go get this soup. So, and I'm like following you. So there's this place. I'm just going to plug them because why the fuck not, right? Because if you love something, we'll just give them a free plug. Uncle Cheetah's Soup Shop on Wealthy makes the goddamn best soup. But I got the goulash today, and it was like heaven.
Oh, did it warm your belly?
It was so good. It was
It's a good fall food.
It's so good. And
Such
don't
a
even
Midwest food.
It is. And by the way, don't even bother with the noodles because it just fucks it up. It takes up too much room in the little bowl.
Yeah.
You just get more tomatoey, meaty deliciousness. Oh,
Good
God.
for you. I had no
so
idea.
good.
I would have joined you for lunch if I had known you were
You know how
stopping.
many people were in that tiny little place?
Oh, yeah. It's always full.
Packed. It was all hot. You know, like,
Yeah.
I just love my goulash.
Yeah.
But that was my high. That goulash was kicking it, man. It was
Nice.
awesome. All right, so now on to our beloved topic. Just kidding. I hate this person. And we keep talking about how we're not going to reveal our politics, so we're just going to reveal our politics right now. What's your, tell our audience what your politics are, Linda.
Well, I do consider myself a liberal.
I know.
I do, yeah.
Well, how do you not, being on this show? Yes, so I too am a liberal. I've had some fair amount of political involvement in my lifetime, and I was a political science major. I'll just out it. I was political science, philosophy major. But way back in the day when I decided to attend university, and I used to love politics, and then here comes Donald Trump. And I just think we need to talk about, because we talk about narcissism and cluster B personality disorders and psychopathy. Mm-hmm. And what we don't talk about is the fact that the leader of the free world is a psychopath. It was bad when it was Kim Jong-un, and now it's our goddamn president.
Yeah.
You look like you need a Kleenex.
Yeah,
you okay over there?
Yep. The depression is kicking in.
I know. Well, and that's the thing. So since 2016, I think all of us who, are of the more liberal political persuasion, and even my conservative friends, are just sort of like in a cocoon because it's almost too much to take. He triggers the shit out of me because he reminds me of my ex, and he reminds me of the toxic people in my life. And I think, Do you have those like Facebook friends who are like big Trumpians?
A couple of them. I can't say I necessarily follow them anymore.
Exactly. When did you stop following them?
Oh, at least a year ago at this point.
Right. And you were told that you were being like mean.
No, sure. I mean,
you're intolerant.
Purposefully, I did not unfriend them.
Oh, you're so nice, Linda.
I know.
You are. You're so damn nice.
I worry about what people think about me.
I know.
Now, the problem is some of the Trump supporters were family members.
Oh, mine too.
So that's just the easiest way to deal with
Girl,
it.
I got a family member who has the Second Amendment written on the back of his pickup truck.
Oh.
And I love him.
Okay, yeah, sure.
But I also haven't heard anything about Trump from him in about 2 years.
Okay.
So I think he's now disenchanted with Trump as well. But here's the thing, right? It's troubling to me the way that having this individual in the public eye on a daily basis has desensitized us to the narcissist and the sociopath, because that is what he is. And when you see him in your face every day, you get almost immune to it. It's like, yeah.
That's a great point.
Right.
We were talking about that. At this point, you're just bombarded.
And you can't take it.
The things that he says, the things that he does, his face, and we ignore it now, right?
And it
shake your head,
normalizes it. Okay. I have never until Donald Trump's years heard the term fact-free environment. Right? He is fact-free. He has one agenda, Donald Trump's agenda, and he serves that agenda wholeheartedly without apology, and he worships himself 24/7.
Admittedly.
Right. Admittedly so. He doesn't even care. He I love how he calls himself a Christian. I'm like, you got one God, buddy, and it's your own self, but whatever. And everything that he says has to serve that purpose, whether it's actually historically true or not. And you see people in your life who emulate that. And it's like, how do you continue to remember that that's not okay? How do you continue to tell your kids? You can't actually just make shit up as you go.
It's true. It's tough to see an individual with so much power who is in your face on the media all the time, acting this way. And then when it happens in your real life, you just think, maybe that's an individual with power. Somebody maybe you should respect.
Right. Well, that's right, right? Because when you're like, okay, now that Donald Trump is president and you're dating somebody that reminds you of Donald Trump, now you're like, oh, he's just super powerful.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's
an
a fucking
influential
psychopath.
businessman who has his own agenda to keep growing and gaining more power, and I should look up to that.
Yeah. It's disgusting. It's like, I don't know why it makes me think of this, but it's like when I used to love Sex and the City. Did you watch Sex and the City?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That Carrie and Big relationship. Big is fucking Donald Trump. That show I loved, and it pissed me off because Carrie's relationship with Big is the most fucking toxic, terrible, horrible relationship, and he is a goddamn narcissist.
Yeah.
And they treated it like it was this big, beautiful thing. Did that piss you off?
Absolutely.
I was like, where's Aiden?
That was not her guy. I was going to say.
No, it wasn't your guy.
Fucking Aiden.
He was so... Oh, my God. When he, stood her up when she was wearing that beautiful naked dress. You're like, he was so savage. What a dick. What a fucking dick. And then she's like, well, I just, sometimes you just got to wing it. And I'm like, God, fuck off, Carrie Bradshaw. Right? Piss me off. And I'm like, every time I saw him, and this was pre-presidential years, every time I would watch that show and Big would be on, I'm like, he's just like Donald Trump. He's like one of those guys.
Really? You made that connection way back then?
Yes,
okay.
Except, way better looking. I'll give Chris Noth that.
Yeah.
Because, oh God, let's talk about how horrible he looks. Actually, let's talk about that in a minute. So let's just talk about how these narcissistic behaviors present themselves when you are someone on a public stage, right? So the number one thing, the first thing I noticed about Donald Trump was he talks in word salads. He says the same statement over and over and over and over.
We've heard the same things, yeah.
And it doesn't even make sense, right? He can't answer a question with any sort of depth or complexity. He just has to say some words. So we were doing some fast Google research right before we decided to record. turns out he actually speaks at a 4th grade level. Which, by the way, don't you have 4th graders?
I do.
So, yeah, I mean, our president talks like your child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. And he basically has a vocabulary of about 2,600 words, which is the average 9-year-old. And he says the same things over and over. And now let's talk about what words it is that he says over and over and over again. This is my favorite. Best ever, which triggers the shit out of me because my ex said best ever all the time. Ugh. Like gag when I think about it now.
I have so many questions running through my brain.
The best people. We have the best people. No, the best people.
That's what didn't I just say? Like, what is with the accent? What is that?
It's fake. I don't know. So anyway, what are your questions? Let's hear them. I know.
Well, one, I guess I have to admit that we talked about this. As far as politics were concerned, you have the history of following politics and just being really involved in the Democratic Party, but I don't. I mean,
You will be now.
Well, I had ignored it, through my teenage years and my early 20s, and then, I did start to become a little more involved, a little more educated, and in the last couple of presidential elections, I did do my research and I chose a candidate and I definitely went out and I voted. But now, since Trump is president,
Did you vote for Bernie? Just kidding. I'm just asking.
I have no interest anymore.
Although I'm going to say this right now. Bernie is a lot of things. He is not a narcissist.
You know what? I voted for Hillary. I voted for Hillary, yeah. Because honestly, at that point, I knew it was going to be between.
Also, Hillary, not a narcissist, but the girlfriend and I need to have a sit down about how the fuck she stayed with Bill.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, do your girlfriends on the face of planet Earth the solid and, leave him.
That's a huge, very interesting dynamic right there.
I know. And I love Bill Clinton's politics. I just don't like his rest of him.
Yeah, looking back, I can say now with the research and information that I've learned, I really do like Bill Clinton's politics as well. Now, once Trump became president, I stopped following everything.
Why?
I couldn't do it. I think it started because the people I was friends with on Facebook, social media, were posting their, yay, we did it, make America great again things. And I just started to get angry.
Yeah.
And I did start to hear some of his speeches or when he's going on TV and it made no sense to me. I became angry and I shut it down. I don't watch the news anymore. I don't read the news, watch the news, nothing. At this point, in the last year or so, the only information I know or have on Donald Trump are the memes that people post on Facebook. I don't give a shit.
Here's the thing. It's just as bad as his followers. They have fucking politics by meme too. And he does all of his like executive orders by goddamn tweet. So don't even feel bad.
Right?
This whole world now thinks that motherfucker has turned into a world of like sound bites and memes. If my kids send me one more meme and have it be like, this means whatever, fuck off. Like, do some research. Put thought into it. Not that you're not.
Yeah. Well, and I have to go back. We talked about that too. Now that there's another election coming up, I do have to get my shit back together.
Who do you like for 2020?
I don't know. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't know.
My honest to God answer to that is all of them. I like all of them. I like all of them and probably all of the Republican contenders more than I like Donald Trump. I would rather vote, I think I mentioned this to you. I was like, everyone is talking about how Joe Biden is so damn old and he's too old and he needs to retire. I was like, if he dropped dead right now, I would vote for his dead carcass over Donald Trump. Let's prop him up like weekend at Bernie's. I'm like, it doesn't, we would be better off with no decision being made than this current president.
Remember during the election when at some point I thought and said aloud, there's no fucking way he could ever win this election.
That's what everybody thought. Right? That was our problem.
And then he did. So could it happen again?
Well, okay, we're going to get into a little bit of my conspiracy theory, which, by the way, I am not the one who ever believed in a ghost. So I'm usually way more concrete than my co-hosts and other people on this podcast. I actually don't think he won that election. I don't think he won it. Well, I know he didn't win the popular vote. Obviously, everybody knows that. But I think there was a lot of voter fraud. I was on the ground.
Very well could be.
Well, and with the volunteering that I do for campaigns, I was literally on the ground on election day. And I can tell you, at least in the precincts that I was exposed to in this county, which ended up voting for Trump. It doesn't make any sense, but I was in several precincts, and I would read the voter rolls periodically through the day because it tabulates on the tabulator.
Okay.
I saw hardly any votes for Donald Trump. And I'm like,
Really?
I still to this day don't know what the fuck happened. Yeah. Yeah, I read the tabs. I mean, look, there was a lot of local interest anyway because that was the same election that there were a lot of really interesting things on the ballot. And 2 years ago, there was also the legal marijuana on the ballot. So like all the voters came out in droves. And this area, it has a bad reputation for being conservative. It's actually quite liberal. And especially the voters who come out and vote and regularly are usually pretty liberal. And I don't know. I just think there was something going on with the tabulators and the Diebold system. But anyway.
I've always kind of known or heard growing up that it's a very conservative area. I know a lot of counties around us are very conservative. But
this fucking Putin did it. This fucking bareback. Talk about another goddamn narcissist. Holy shit.
Yo.
By the way, you want to know something funny? So we had a previous episode with a guest who talked about her toxic relationship. Remember? I don't even remember what we called her, so I'm not going to say it out loud. Do you remember what we called her?
I don't know your story. Keep going.
So this dude, swear to God, her ex, who I am still friends with on Facebook, but he blocked her. Okay. He blocked her because she's like up to, like knows what's up with him, but doesn't block me because what am I doing? I'm just Facebook friends. This idiot, I'm going to show you this, posted a photo of himself shirtless with jeans on a goddamn horse. And I was like, oh my God.
Saw it.
Yep. Did you see it?
I know. I'm on the same page.
Do you not see the irony here? And I was like, are you Putin? He deleted my comment.
Uh-huh.
I literally wrote, like, are you Putin? And he deleted my comment. Okay.
Yeah, he's a terrible person.
Also loves Trump. So.
Oh, does he?
Oh,
okay.
God, yeah. You don't read his page enough.
By the way, I told you to go watch House of Cards.
You did. Why did you tell me to watch House of Cards?
It's a great fucking show. Very well done. Maybe not the last season. It took a turn. I don't know if there's 6, 7 seasons of this.
Okay. So this is a commitment. I need to have like influenza to watch all of that.
I'm telling you, it is so good.
Okay.
This is where I learned about politics.
Fake ones or real? Fake politics or real politics?
It is. I think it's very scary how accurate this is.
Okay.
I think it parallels a lot of what has been happening in our country the last, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what,
years.
I've watched Scandal, and that was a whole lot like this.
This is better than Scandal.
What?
Yes.
Nothing's better than Scandal.
Not much is better than Scandal, but this is.
Okay, God damn it, I'm going to have to do it. No,
You're going to
be
like
dedicated. Listen, and this is totally apropos of nothing on this show, although maybe a little bit. Have you seen the Nat Geo documentary, Free Solo? About this kid who climbs El Capitan.
You did tell me about it.
Holy shit. And he is like, he's crazy. You can't do that and not be crazy. I mean, he's like cool and a hero, and I can't decide like what his mental health diagnosis was. I'm definitely sitting there giving him like Axis 1 and Axis 2. But so honest, like honest to a fault, like reminds me of some people we know. And his, like at one point in this documentary, God, I'm not a total tangent, but anyway, one point in this documentary, this kid, God, what's his name? I can't remember, but anyway, Google him. And he looks at this girlfriend. It's a relatively new relationship. And she's like, are you ever going to stop free climbing these rock faces? And he's like, well, if there's ever any reason why I would need to extend my lifetime and my longevity for the sake of other human beings, then I would quit doing it. And she's like, okay, well, we've been dating for however long now. And do you think you've reached that point yet? He goes, nope, not yet. I was like, oh my God, that's so harsh.
How is she going to respond to this? Okay.
That's what she said.
Fair enough.
She was like, okay. And she got in the van and drove home, and he climbed El Capitan and fucking made it, lucky bastard. Because he climbed with ropes a million times before that and fell. So,
wow.
I know. Oh, God. It's crazy.
That's not
by
for
the
me.
way, even though you know how it ends because you can Google how it ends, it's still goddamn nerve-wracking. Like, you're on the edge of your seat. You think he's going to fall any second. It's so scary.
Gosh. So he doesn't fall into a crevasse and have to cut his own arm off or whatever that other movie
There's a
is.
point where he's stuck in a crack and he's like shimmying up, and you got to watch it. And I was like, how do you not get stuck in there? But anyway.
Back to our topic, though.
Back to our topic. Go ahead.
My other thing was, you mentioned earlier that Donald Trump triggers you and reminds you so much of your ex.
Yes.
Some of the word usage from both of them.
Yep.
What else is it? Donald Trump is a cartoon that stands in front of a podium and says stupid shit.
The word salad. So the talking. So yeah, when Donald Trump is backed into a corner, and you can see it anytime he's in a press conference and he's backed into a corner, he just says fucking words. And that triggers the shit out of me because my ex had an uncanny knack for talking forever and not saying anything. It's just words coming out of his mouth.
Okay.
The words didn't even go together. And it was like this concerted effort to just wear me down. Wear me down, wear me down, wear me. So I was just like, stop, I just cannot hear you talk one more fucking second, which is what you talked about when we just shut the fucking TV off because you can't take it anymore. And that's what it was like inside that relationship. The whole grab him by the pussy thing, that sort of
chauvinistic
and very assaulty. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm actually, my heart rate's going up right now. That sort of assaulty thing where you think you're entitled to another person's body totally reminds me of my ex.
Really?
That he is definitely like that. And what was weird was when I would call him out on it, I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? That's not appropriate. And he's like, I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's funny. Haha. I'm like, okay. But it wasn't funny. It wasn't a joke. It was just misogynistic and awful.
Besides, after a while, you have to realize your company and...
Yeah. And then when he talks about, we have all the best people. We have the best people. I surround myself with the best people. I'm everything about Donald Trump's life, his parents, where he lives, what he does, his kids, everybody in his administration, although that changes every 5 minutes, is the best ever all the time. That is 100% my ex. And if you criticize any single portion of his life, or a choice that he's made it, or not even criticize, just say like, yeah, I don't really like that as much as you like that. It was like a narcissistic injury. The result would be rage. Like, how the fuck do you not like that? That is the best, whatever, ever. And I'm like, it was insanity, insane. And, for instance, he was, I'll reveal a little too much. He was not a fan of my alma mater. And he was the fan of the rival school, although he never went there. And there's a joke about Walmart, but I'm not going to make it. Except they just did. And he would ridicule the school that I went to 24/7. And I'm like, I have actually 3 degrees from that university. And I'm like, really? And it was the fact that it wasn't his and it wasn't what he loved. So he could not accept that part of me because it wasn't the best. And he liked the best, even though he actually never went to school there at the school that he thought was the best. They were better than my school. And I'm like, okay, P.S. the school you actually went to was really shitty. And I've never once mentioned that my education is better than yours. Never.
Right, you don't want to hurt his feelings. You don't want to be an asshole.
That's a horrible thing to do to somebody, right?
And where you go to school does not determine
of course
who
not.
you are.
There's so many different factors involved, one being, I don't know, in-state tuition, right?
Sure.
But, it was that kind of thing. It's like where he lived was the best place to live and his friends were the best people in the whole wide world and where he worked was the best company in town and everybody else was less than him. And it was literally constant. That is 100% Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So when Trump starts doing that whole, I call it, sort of his dog and pony show where he's like, we have the best people and we do the best things and we're the smartest. And I can't take it. I just can't take it. It makes me sick to my stomach. Who are the people that love that? Like, who are these Trumpians who are like, salivating like that is such a great thing to hear. It's such a turnoff, isn't it?
The only thing is that they truly think and believe that they have a person in the position of power who knows what he's doing, who is truly powerful, who would truly make things happen, who would...
Here's what I'm going to suggest.
Trump over other individuals. See what I did there?
I did. That's good. It's clever. It's Friday. Drink more wine. It's good.
All right. It's kicking in.
Well, yeah, I think sometimes, though, some of that is his quote-unquote fan base. has a lot of deep-seated hatred for women and racial and ethnic minorities. And so they see him as someone who's going to take back this power that they've lost. And here's the thing. I'm going to be honest. As a Caucasian human being, I'll be honest. The fact that, women and racial and ethnic minorities and all the minority groups have achieved more power and made progress over the last, 400 years. Slowly, by fits and starts and, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But progress has happened. And the more power any group other than the, white men get, they are giving up power. They're losing power, but they don't recognize that they had a disproportional amount of power, right? And so they are clinging to somebody like Donald Trump, who I think represents to them the old school patriarchal way of it's my way or the highway. I'm the white man and I can make all the decisions for everybody else because I'm better than you are. And I actually don't know any super duper Trumpians who aren't white men. Do you?
No.
They're all white dudes.
White dudes and their submissive wives and families.
Oh, yeah, those two. There's a few of those.
Now, I just want to believe that group of white men.
That's a little loud. Okay, go ahead. just topping you off there.
Has gotten smaller. Not white men themselves, the group, but the supporters.
Well, the white men group actually has gotten smaller too,
that's true,
demographically.
of course.
Yay.
But I mean, I don't know.
It is. I think it's not only gotten smaller, but there are woke white dudes. There are. There's not a whole lot of them around here, but maybe there's a few.
But we live in such a liberal area. Remember,
we do. I mean, we're getting there. But yeah, the other thing that really reminds me of my ex, and this is like super hard for me to talk about, but it's the hair trigger rage. So when, when you push back and try to assert the fact that you actually have an opinion and you're a human too and you deserve consideration as well, it triggers that narcissistic injury. And Trump has it, my ex has it, a lot of narcissists have it, I think all of them do, that when you threaten the fact that they're the best human being on the face of planet Earth, it's instant reactionary rage. And the rage, I mean, I've seen Trump go crazy.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is if you ever listen to the story that's told by his son, you ever hear this about Donald Trump Jr. when he went to visit him in college? And he was going for a football game, and he shows up in his limo with his whole motorcade. This is, before he was president. And he walks up to his dorm room door, and he opens the door, and he's in like jeans and a hoodie from like whatever university he was at. I can't remember which one. His father punched him in the face because he wasn't wearing a suit.
I did not hear that.
Instant rage.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is 100% my ex. He, I'm talking like he liked to throw things and like to just physically lash out by like throwing things and being super angry and disproportionate anger. The disproportionate anger, like a little tiny slight happens, like most people laugh off or ignore, and all of a sudden they fly off the handle. So that's super Trumpy.
I was just reading this article about, they define them as benign narcissists and malignant narcissists.
Aren't they all malignant?
No, maybe not. Just this idea that there are the benign narcissists who simply just want to prove something to themselves, going to a prestigious school, getting the good grades, getting a great job. They just keep improving things on their own.
Is that
for themselves. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know.
It's like the free solo kid. The free solo kid wanted to prove to himself that he could climb El Capitan. The jury's out whether he's a narcissist.
But still believing that you're better than everybody else because you are doing these things and achieving these things.
Okay.
But then the malignant narcissist is the one who turns into somebody like Donald Trump. They actually equated them to Hitler, Putin, Stalin.
Yep.
Trump.
He's totally
thrown in that category.
Stalin all over again. If you ever read like a bio of Stalin, he's just like him. Just like him. Yeah. So
So this would be a more severe case of narcissism than some.
Yeah. Well, he's the most severe, and unfortunately, so, when I was back in my poli-sci history days, my super liberal, university professors would talk about Joseph Stalin in the terms of, look, Stalin is a terrible human being. He is evil. Hitler is evil. However, you know a Hitler and you know a Joseph Stalin. The difference is with these guys is that it's that asshole neighbor that gets power. And it's when you have absolute power that it corrupts you.
Yeah, we were led to believe that we were not in a system of government that could happen.
I know.
That someone like
we have checks and balances.
Yeah.
According to like my elementary school teachers, but the checks and balances aren't working so good. Do you hear me, Nancy Pelosi? No, wait, no. Actually, I don't know when this is going to be out, but she just started the indictment or the impeachment proceedings because of the whistleblower action. So it's going to be interesting when we air this to see if that ever went anywhere, because I feel like he's basically committed high crimes and misdemeanors about 4,000 times since he took office and nobody's given a shit. So maybe somebody will care this time. I don't know. Maybe. Doubt it. I really doubt it.
He has the best people.
He has the best people.
They're going to protect him.
Do you think if he loses the election, he's going to leave the White House? I don't think he will.
What's he going to do?
He's going to say that the election was not a valid election, and he will incite a riot. Watch.
Okay.
I'm concerned. So he also has this super narcissistic tendency to substitute his own will for the will of everybody around him. Have you noticed that? So when he talks about what the American people want, we're like, wait a minute, you didn't even win the popular election, motherfucker.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm.
And, you talk about how the American people want that we want to work with Russia. No, we don't. Who are you? Right?
Didn't he say something, again, I don't know enough. Maybe I shouldn't even. Didn't he say something about Russia will love our country more when I'm in charge of it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep. He did say that.
What the fuck does that mean?
Because he probably means that he and Putin are buddies, which is scary as shit because Putin basically has people murdered on the regular. and who's the pedophile guy that just died?
In jail?
You know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
I'm
what is his
Googling
name?
right now.
I'm blanking on it.
I don't either. It's too much wine.
We're doing great.
We're doing really great, and we can always edit this. So do you think that the Trump administration had him killed? And it's Jeffrey Epstein, by the way.
Yes, I was going to say Jeffrey.
If you would have said Jeffrey, I would have come up with Epstein.
Really?
I'm positive. Yeah, but that's okay. So all of a sudden, a guy who has all of the dirt on these sick motherfuckers is dead in jail. Who killed him? Go.
Well, who knows? Yeah. It has been hush-hush.
Right?
Super
no one's
quiet.
talking about it.
Something is obviously going on. Something happened. Also, watch House of Cards.
Is it going to be in House of Cards? Are all of the answers in House of Cards?
I believe so.
Holy shit.
I'm telling you.
I bet you there's some sort of deal between like Trump, but not really Trump, maybe Giuliani as Trump's conveyor of messages. And by the way, what a fucker. I fucking hate him. I can't even stand him being interviewed anymore because he just talks over whoever interviews him. But anyway, I think Giuliani probably went back to New York and this is my conspiracy theory, got his mafia buddies to go into the prison system and off Jeffrey Epstein because he has dirt on Trump, or probably Giuliani. I'm just saying. That's my theory. What do you think?
I don't know enough about it to say. I don't know, but something dirty happened.
How do you think he died? Did that even come out?
No.
Like strangle him?
I don't think so.
Him?
I tried to follow it for a little while because I purposely went on and Googled any updates on that the week or two after it happened.
Huh.
Since then, I didn't pay attention. So I don't know.
Interesting. So I'm not sad he's dead. I just want to be clear. I'm not exactly sad he's no longer alive. I just wonder who killed him. I think maybe there's something there. We're going to call this our conspiracy theory episode. But anyway, so I heard an interview with Howard Stern, and he's back on my radar now. But when he talked about Donald Trump, he's like, the thing is, when you meet him, you're his best friend. He's super chummy, backslapper, you're so great.
Yes,
Like,
that is not surprising. That is exactly what narcissists do.
That's the love bombing. So he does the whole love bombing. And you're the greatest. You're the best ever. You're my people. And then when he decides he doesn't need you or want you anymore, what does he do?
Discards you.
I have never seen such crazy examples of a discard
When you are
phase.
out,
Yes.
you are dead.
You're dead. And you're like out in 5 seconds. So I just compiled a list just for fun of just a few people that are like at the forefront of my mind that he has discarded. Okay. Reince Priebus, who's basically a terrible person anyway, but still. Katie Walsh, Kirsten Nielsen, Steve Bannon, who is Satan, literally Satan on SNL, Sebastian Gorka, evil as shit, but still not evil enough for Trump. Michael Flynn, H.R. McMaster, which I want to talk about in a minute, and John Bolton, Sean Spicer, who basically sold his goddamn soul to the devil and will never be able to work again because he is now, thanks to SNL and Melissa McCarthy, the laughing stock of the universe. Anthony Scaramucci, who worked for him, I think, for like 4 days. Hope Hicks, who, like, rumor has it, was his girlfriend.
You got a long list.
This isn't even like close to everybody on the Wikipedia page that I looked up. And my personal favorite, and I won't understand this, Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
I don't know who that is.
Oh my God, you really haven't been watching him on television?
No,
So Trump has 2 press secretaries that are now no longer his press secretaries. The first one was Sean Spicer, who was made fun of on SNL relentlessly. Because
I remember that.
Melissa McCarthy played him and it was fucking amazing. Amazing. It was like, that was my like therapy through this whole process. And after Sean Spicer left, Sarah Huckabee Sanders came in, and Sarah Huckabee Sanders is Mike Huckabee's daughter, who, you know how vain and shallow and just fucking misogynistic and awful he is with women.
Yeah,
happens to be a shockingly unattractive woman for somebody who's involved in the Trump administration. And how she sold her soul to him. And she's like a mother and has kids. It's like unbelievable the way that she put up with him for so long. But now she's no longer in the administration. And the minute that he's done with someone, boom, they're gone. Right? And the thing that always really interested me, I brought up H.R. McMaster and John Bolton, is they were military guys. And I was always disgusted and kind of grossed out by how Trump sold himself as a military guy. And he loved all the generals. Remember, all of the generals loved me. Okay, Captain Bone Spurs. Like, you've never served a day in the military in your entire life. And you, by the way, you look fucking terrible. That's the other thing. You know, this weird hair thing.
Oh, yeah.
And all of the fake orange spray tan and all that nastiness.
With all of the money and power he has.
That's what he does with it. And then he talks about, like, women and how they look. And I'm like, I wouldn't, if you were really nice and friendly and a sweet, kind human being, I would never touch you. For $1 million, even if you were the nicest guy in the world. Like, you're so gross. And it's like, part of it, when I see him, to me, it's his mask. Like, he's hiding. You know, when he has like the whites around his eyes because you have to wear the little things over your eyes when you get the orange spray tan. I'm like, those eyes, those little beady, terrible eyes are just hiding behind this facade, this orange facade, because this is your thing. Actually, he's told people that, you know, they're like, "What? The orange spray tan is a joke. Everybody makes fun of it. Why do you keep doing it?" And he's like, "Because it's me. It's my calling card. It's who I am." I'm like, "No, it's your mask, and you're hiding behind it because you can't just be you." Have you ever seen? Because you love memes. Have you seen the if he didn't do the comb over and get the orange spray tan, what he would look like?
Yes. Yep.
I know, right? He looks like
everyone's grandpa.
He looks like a grandma. I know, he's so gross.
Like a normal grandpa?
Like a normal grandpa, yeah. You know, with the little horseshoe bald head, and you know, the saggy skin and pallid sort of coloring. kind of gray and
I know
ashy.
it's interesting that, the Obamas, Michelle Obama specifically, had this campaign of healthy eating and getting away from junk food and that type of thing. And then he comes in. Didn't he change this whole...
Yes.
All of a sudden, it's like KFC and McDonald's that's coming into the White House.
Yes.
He has athletes over for dinner and
he
orders
gives them
the fast food.
Yep. And he thinks it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then rolled back all of the Michelle Obama initiatives in the public schools to serve healthy food. And then everyone thought, well, why in the hell are you're the first lady not doing anything? Doesn't she have any initiatives? Did you see how she went out to the garden and was going to do the gardening? So when Michelle Obama, who I love, is a total girl crush of mine, had these gardens at the White House, she would go out with her little sneakers on and her little hand spade, and she would plant
badass arms.
Oh fuck yes, I know. I wish I had her upper arm. She is ripped. But anyway, and she would go in there and dig up, with her little spade and plant some tomato plants. Did you see, Melania out there in her 6-inch stilettos? She was in a ball gown and 6-inch stilettos with a gold Trump shovel.
Yeah, holding it all weird.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like Louboutinis, I swear to God.
Oh,
and I'm
at least pretend, at least try.
This is actually a really good side topic, though. Do you feel sorry for her?
Yes.
What do you think's going on? Do you think something's going on with her and him? Why do you think she's staying there?
She's scared. She's really fucking scared.
We did the episode about Lorena Bobbitt. It reminds me of that. I mean, I don't know about what happens in their bedroom. Please, God, no one tell me.
I'm certain they do not share a bedroom.
That would be hopeful. I hope. But,
or, when she's needed... Maybe she goes in, they spend their time together, and then she leaves. There's no way they spend every single night sleeping in the same bed. That can't be a thing.
Ugh, I bet the sheets are all orange. From
my God. What the fuck?
Whoppers.
Fried chicken, grease stains.
I bet you he eats in bed. I bet you he eats food.
I guarantee you, yeah. That only makes sense.
Can you imagine seeing him naked?
Oh, God.
The orange all over. Gross.
I bet he eats Oreos off of Melania.
Double stuff?
Yeah, right? Are there any other kind anymore?
Yes, there's a million kinds of Oreos.
I know, but
there's 472 kinds of Oreos.
Are any of them worth it? I don't eat Oreos. I guess I get them for my kids once in a while.
Yeah. He totally eats Oreos off of Melania. God, but she's an immigrant. And he brought her over here, which, by the way,
So political move initially?
I think she was a brand new, American. She wasn't even a citizen, but she was here. She was working as a model. And here's this, super wealthy Mr. Big Guy who wants to drive her around.
He's running Miss America pageant.
Yep.
At the time.
And he wants to drive her around in limousines. And she's I'm sure he promised her the world because that's what they do. And she fell into this situation where she thought, okay, this is my future. This person's going to take care of me because I come from nothing. And there is no doubt in my mind that he abuses the shit out of her. And I mean, I'm talking psychological and emotional abuse. I'm not talking physical abuse, hopefully not.
They can't, I don't even think they're around each other physically that much anymore. I can't imagine.
And then they have that son who literally is the exact same age as one of my kids. And
that nerdy looking fuck.
I'm constantly and his other kids, the boys are fucked up. And Ivanka is probably a testament to her mother not being a total fucking lunatic. But anyway, the boys are grody too. They're sick. So this little boy, who's the same age as one of my kids, something's not right with him. And I just compare his behavior to that of my daughter and her peers, right? And I'm like, there's something not 13-ish about this kid. He's gangly and awkward and weird. And I don't know if that's a lack of socialization or if he probably really has, if he's on the autism spectrum. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no matter what your issues or your anxiety, if you're dealing with those types of issues, how shitty would it be to, on top of that, have this narcissistic parent who has to pretend like everybody in his family is perfect? Right?
So this kid is obviously not getting any kind of support that he would need if that's the case.
I mean, I'm hoping Melania gives it to him, but she's fighting her own battles.
Yeah.
She looks like a prisoner of war every time I see her on camera.
She needs a cheeseburger.
She needs a cheeseburger.
Donald ate them all off of her belly.
Oh, God. This is probably his own belly. He's probably got a few cheeseburgers hiding in there he doesn't even know about. And I did hear that he has an exceptionally small penis, so let's just throw that out there. Did you not hear that?
I've heard it.
Fucking hey, man. Yeah. Gross. Anyway. So, he's super triggering. I think he's normalizing the fact that these narcissists in our lives are you want people to know that's not normal. Right? That these are not the kind of people that we're actually supposed to socialize with on a regular basis. They're not the kind of people we should invite into our homes. They're not the kind of people we should marry or date or work with if we can prevent it.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, it's hard enough to filter through it in normal life.
And now we have this person saying, making this presentation like he is the greatest person ever and that it's normal and that this behavior is acceptable and okay, and it's not. The one thing I was wondering, though, it's like when you talk to people about this and you point out how fucking awful they are, right? They're like, yeah, but what's the opposite of a narcissist? That'd be like somebody super empathetic. And what would an empath look like? A true empath in office, what would it look like and what would they do? Have you ever thought about that? I mean, honestly, God, I think Obama probably was.
As close as it could be. Okay. Yeah.
But Obama aside, if you know the empathetic people that...
They wouldn't run for president, period.
Right.
There's no need. They wouldn't need to be in that type of position.
But what if we needed them? So what if someone was moved to run and they were very empathetic and understanding and kind and...
So you're saying S for president? That's what I heard. That's what I...
Yeah, no, there's too many photos of me floating around out there. Well, actually, I can't say that now because Donald Trump is now president, so all bets are off. Forget it. The photo album be damned. I'll run.
You're right.
Right? But what do you think it would look like if someone like truly sweet and kind and gentle and empathetic and understanding and progressive made it into the White House? Would they even be able to wield power? I wonder that.
They would have to have a very specific group of people behind them. The best ever people.
Right?
And as a group, collectively, yeah, it can be done and it should be done. I think we would focus on large worldly issues more than things going on in our country, honestly, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, as a student of politics, I sometimes wonder if we really did have an empathetic president in Jimmy Carter.
Oh.
Jimmy Carter is a good human. He is a good person.
Look at the stuff he's done after his presidency.
By the way, he also survived like a brain tumor that was inoperable and going to kill him. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I've heard that, yeah.
It's like the universe doesn't want him to die. Yeah. But here's the thing. He was a one-term president. And, the question is, was he even all that great? I mean, I think he was a great person. You're always sort of beholden to the time period that you're serving as president. So it depends on what's happening and what's going on.
Absolutely. That's a good point.
But he gets accused of being ineffective all the time. And I'm like, well, do you need some of those powerful tendencies? And do you need to be the elephant in the room to affect change, even if it means liberal change? Maybe you have to be Bill Clinton, who's a total narcissist. And presidentially,
looking back,
was not bad.
No, he did a great job.
Minus Monica Lewinsky. Poor Monica. By the way, Monica, I'm sorry because you didn't deserve that.
Do you want to come on the show?
Oh my God, yeah. Come on the show and talk about your handbags. I'll plug your... Does she still sell handbags?
I don't know.
She designs and sells handbags. Anyway. But yeah, she didn't deserve that, but I still liked his politics. And so it's a difficult sort of balancing act that you have between narcissism and full-blown narcissism like we have with Donald Trump. And basically our government now serves him and not the people.
You end up with an empath in office, and people are going to walk all over that individual. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Politics doesn't usually draw people of full compassion and empathy. It just doesn't.
I know. Yeah. So, in conclusion,
I'm sad.
Why
I'm
are you sad?
now. I'm sad now. Number one, we just had to talk about this.
yeah.
Number two, our guest didn't show up.
I know, but I'm like, get here because I have a game for you to play. So anyway, but this is my one thing that I want to talk about before we sign off is what are you going to do in 2020 as somebody who's been avoiding politics for 4 years?
I feel like you're putting me on the spot.
I did. Well, I am. You don't feel that way.
I will research candidates. I will become more involved. I certainly will vote when the time comes. I can tell you right now that my best guess for what I will do, and I don't know, but when the presidential election comes, I will most likely vote Democrat no matter what, just no matter who the person is. That's it. That's what I'll do.
Will you vote a straight ticket?
If I can, yeah.
If you're well, yeah, that's a question where we live. But if you could, you're going to vote for all Democrats just because you're done.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe that's uneducated. Maybe that's ignorant. No. I don't know. I feel like that's just where I'm at right now. I can't.
I know. I totally hear you. Yeah. So in 2020, like, and I'm with you, actually. I paid attention to politics after he took office. I went to the Women's March on Washington the day after he was inaugurated. It was one of the saddest and the most empowering things I've ever done.
Were you physically afraid to be there? I thought about that. I thought about some sort of attack happening at that specific march.
No, I wasn't. And I think it was too early for me to understand the gravity. Would I do it again today? Maybe not. But I was still coming off the high of the Obama administration. I took my kids. Kids to the Women's March on Washington.
Super impactful.
Oh,
I'm sure. They're going to remember that forever.
Oh, yeah. Forever. The pictures and I kind of felt like it was the 60s all over again. And I'm yanking my kids out of school so we can go do a goddamn protest. And we took a fucking bus, right? And bus drove straight through there and straight through on the way back. I literally put children on a bus to drive out there and march on Washington. And I'm like, I can't believe we still have to do this. I cannot believe that we have to march on Washington in 2017. Mm-hmm. It was crazy. So I did that for, I did that for 2 years. 2 years I was super involved because I was actually just waiting for the impeachment proceeding to happen. I thought any day now, this guy is so corrupt and so self-centered and runs an entire government to serve his own purpose. The jig is up. It's got to happen. And then I just got disenchanted and I couldn't anymore. And now I see this gigantic pool of Democratic candidates who I love most of for varying reasons. I love Joe Biden because Joe Biden's the coolest dude, right? I've actually met him before. He's
been around here. He's come around, right?
Yeah. And here's the thing about Joe Biden that I'm sure most people know. That man has suffered tremendous loss. Tremendous loss. He lost almost everything in his life. And he has not become bitter, and instead he has used that to reach out and empower people. He lost his wife. He lost his daughter. His 2 sons were on death's door in the hospital. And then he's a sitting vice president, and he loses his son.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Right. No, he's lost everything. And to be able to come through that kind of sorrow and turmoil and trauma and still be a decent human being says a lot about Joe Biden. And so whenever anybody says he's too old and he's out of touch, I'm like, fuck off. That guy, he's been fucking through it, and we should all listen to him.
And he only needs to live 4 more years.
Yeah, or not. We'll just prop him up like Wiggin and Bernie's. And, I love Kamala Harris because I just love her. I love Cory Booker because when he was mayor of New York, he literally was shoveling people's driveways. No shit. People would, he was like the king of Twitter when Twitter was brand new. And he would ask his citizens in the city of Newark to tweet him when there was anything going on. And I used to follow his Twitter account when he was the mayor, because people would say, like, tweet him during a snowstorm and say, I haven't heard from my dad. Can you go check on him? And he would go, as the mayor, go check on like some person's 85-year-old father to make sure that he was safe in his apartment. Like, that is fucking amazing. Yeah. And Mayor Pete, whose name I can't pronounce, but Mayor Pete is a badass. He's cool. Like, Bernie's even cool. Like, they're all cool people. I can't really point out a narcissist among them that I'm aware of. But any one of them, if they get the nomination, is going to get my work, my blood, sweat, and tears, and my money.
If something happens to President Trump in the impeachment process, can he run again after that? This might be a dumb question.
He'll be in jail, but no.
That's what I'm saying.
But then we get President Pence. And let's just talk about President Pence, who's fucking weird.
Never mind.
By the way, President Pence, Vice President Pence, God, don't, yeah. I apparently is so afraid of horses that he made us put automobiles on Mackinac Island for the first time in history. And I didn't
know this.
Yeah. Yeah, because you don't watch the news because you're so fucking triggered by Trump. So he went to something on Mackinac Island, which, if you're not familiar with Mackinac Island, it doesn't allow motorized vehicles. 0. I think you are allowed to bring on a motorized wheelchair if you're, disabled.
There are horses. There are bicycles.
There are horses and bicycles in your feet. And that is how people get around. You can rent bicycles on the island. You can actually rent horses on the island. It's really fun. I've done it.
Lots of poop in the streets.
Yeah, there's horse duty everywhere. But it's quaint and cute. And they do, I should say, they do allow snowmobiles in the off season if there's an ice bridge, if they can get across the ice bridge. But there's very few year-round residents, so it's not really a thing. So this mofo, even though, by the way, our governor has a governor's mansion on Mackinac Island, and there is transportation that I'm aware of that is bulletproof. There's bulletproof horse-drawn transportation for the governor to go to the governor's mansion. So it's not like he's under a ton of threat. And plus, he's the vice president. Who wants to kill the vice president? Whatever. I mean, you're right. So he, though, apparently is afraid of horses, and you can't secure your person when you're a Secret Service agent when they're on a bicycle. So he brought a 9 SUV entourage and drove around Mackinac Island.
It's almost rude. It's insulting.
It's insulting to us. I know. It pisses me off because you're afraid of horses and you have pet rabbits and you call your wife mother, you weirdo.
Gosh. The last time he was in our city, I was stuck in a traffic jam because they closed the frickin' roads, and it was terrible.
Do you know who was in our city earlier this week?
Who?
Do you know what all those SUVs were for?
I don't know. What day? Where?
Oh God, it was yesterday. No, it was Wednesday or today's Friday. If you don't know, listeners. So it was either Wednesday or Thursday. You know who's here?
No.
Farrakhan.
Oh, really?
I looked out my window because I work downtown, downtown in this little tiny town. But I'm like, what the hell? There's all these SUVs and there's people lined up on the streets. Yeah. I was like, is Trump here? I'm like, that's weird because they would have cleared out my office. I'm definitely book repository level where I am. I'm on the 5th floor, actually. Same floor. And I'm like, no, the Secret Service would have cleared out my office if they were going to drive over here. So, no, it was Farrakhan. Anyway. So now, yeah. Okay. So
she was trapped literally in the other room. It's hilarious.
How was she? Literally trapped?
Yeah, well, we have the those the door locks with the code on it. Well, the batteries were dying, and eventually it died.
And it's soundproof too, right?
Yeah. Well, I was like, "What's going on?" She's like, "I'm stuck in this room." So I had to get the back.
Okay. Just so for our listeners, because I actually want to put this on the air. Our engineer is now joining us. Say hi. His name is Austin.
Hello.
Okay, that's Austin. So Austin just rescued another employee of the studio from a room that she accidentally got locked. That's so great.
Right.
Good job.
MacGyvered it.
Was it hard to get her out?
Not really. It's so really weird how it works. I don't know how to describe it, but it takes AA batteries to figure that out. And good thing we had AA batteries.
Good job.
Good job.
Yeah.
You always got to keep those around.
I know, yeah.
Austin's joining us because our guest
Didn't
never
show.
showed.
That's okay because she's just gonna have to make it up to us. But in the meantime, I feel so sort of like Howard Sterny that we have like somebody from like production come on the show. You're like now one of our characters.
Right.
This is fun. So I only needed you to come on because I have a game that we made.
right.
Because I just decided that instead of girl crushes today, we're gonna do a game. So
Well, we could make this a regular segment if it works out.
This
This is your interview?
yeah. So I actually have a
Right.
list of 11 names,
All right.
and it's a competition between you and Linda here. Okay,
Right.
Austin, you ready?
I'm
Are you ready?
ready.
Are you nervous? You look a little nervous.
No, yeah. I've been more nervous at times.
Okay, good. Good. So it's basically just, I'm going to be the judge of
All
who
right.
says the answer first.
Is it like a trivia game? Or?
It's a little trivia game, and the name of the game is called Dead or Asshole.
All right.
So you are going to tell me if this celebrity is either an individual who has served time for assault,
Okay.
aka the asshole,
All right.
or if this person is dead.
Okay, I feel like Austin has a leg up on this because number one, I'm about a half a bottle of wine in. Two, I just admitted that I haven't been following politics for the past year
None of these
or
are
more.
politicians.
Okay.
None of these are, I mean, I don't have my
helps.
reading glasses on, but I wrote these earlier today, and no, none of them are politicians, so you're good.
All right, let's go.
Is there
Let's
any of
go.
them that are both?
No, actually, now sometimes I have a trick question on my
Right,
thing, but
okay.
then none of these are both.
Good question.
That I'm aware of. And it's possible. And the winner gets some sort of swag, and you're going to get swag anyway, Linda. So I guess Austin, this is your game to
right.
win.
So
okay?
we're answering jail or dead?
No, dead or asshole.
Dead or asshole?
You're either dead or you beat the shit out of somebody. You ready?
Dead or asshole? Okay.
Mike, the Situation Sorrentino.
Asshole.
Yes, good job,
Yeah.
Linda.
Was he the Jersey Shore wiener? Yeah.
He could be dead though. He drinks a lot. I mean, but he's not. He's alive, and he's an asshole.
You know what's funny is he's a DJ.
Yeah.
And I had to backline him one time, and he's a fraud. He's a complete fraud.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait a minute. I should have had you on the show earlier.
But he said he had the hair. He had the hair.
Wait. What is backline?
That's where we provide like a lot of the production like equipment for him. So if I remember right, he was playing. I think he was somewhere downtown, but he had to rent all his gear. He doesn't fly with anything. So we're like, we bought it.
Does
set
he
it
know
up.
what he's doing?
No, he doesn't know anything. It's all sham.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Does he have somebody else come along with him and like scratch the
No,
record?
he kind of nothing's plugged in. He just kind of it's turned on, so in case there's cameras, it looks like he's doing stuff. But he just kind of drinks, and he has his manager, aka his booze jockey, just keep filling his drink up. And then
Is he texting Snooki?
No,
No,
he's
I hope
texting
not.
whatever girls he's in town with that
Right.
night because he's going to get it in.
Right.
He's DTF, didn't you hear?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't. But I assumed because I knew he was an asshole.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a total dink, really.
What does he smell like? Because I feel like he smells like hair
Axe.
product.
Yeah, he smells like how you think. Yeah, or like LA Gear hair gel. I don't know.
Perfect.
God. Okay.
Ready, Austin? We're
Yeah.
competing.
So this is out of 11, just so
Okay.
I don't have
So you
we
got
don't have
one,
a
all
tie.
right.
So you got one. Okay, you ready?
What's it? It's asshole or what is it? Asshole.
Dead.
Okay, yeah.
Dead or asshole?
All right.
I'm looking up people I didn't know were dead, but
Right,
they're
right.
dead. Okay. Brad Renfro, the child actor.
Dead.
Yes, good job, Austin. He's
I know that name. Who was he?
The client.
the client.
I remember that movie.
He's dead already. It's sad. Anyway, Mark Wahlberg.
Asshole.
Neither.
Yes!
Why?
He beat up a guy and went to jail.
Okay. I didn't
He's
know about
from
that.
Boston, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense.
But he has like
I feel like they've all went to jail once for
restaurants
fighting.
and
If you know anyone from Boston,
Everybody in the 617 area code has been to jail
Yeah.
once or
okay, I
twice.
believe it. So was this? How recent was this? Because now he just grows organic meats or something.
How do you grow meats?
You know.
Okay, this was back before he was a star. This was when he was like in high school.
Was this before the Funky
okay.
Bunch? Remember he was
It was
marking.
before the Funky Bunch. He actually beat up a Vietnamese man.
Oh, no.
And he's been apologetic about it ever since. But that's still an asshole
That's
move.
very
Yeah.
asshole. Yeah.
I actually don't know the name of this actress, but she was Lori, the sister on the 70s show.
Asshole. Oh, I bet she died. I bet she died. She died.
Yep.
She totally
Linda,
died.
you got it. She's dead. She overdosed.
Lori.
I remember hearing that. The blonde.
The
she had
blonde,
the
sexy sister. She's cute.
Farrah Fawcett hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think her real name's like Lisa something. Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Sean Penn.
Asshole.
Yes. Good job,
Yeah.
Austin.
But he was on milk.
Yeah.
He's
thought he'd be
complex. He's a complex person.
or just got paid a lot for a role.
Yeah, right.
All right. Christian Slater.
Asshole.
Yes.
Who's that?
I've heard his rants.
Oh, Christian. He's like a 90s kind of.
Don't call that old, Austin.
Maybe a little bit.
How old are you?
I'll be 33, so.
He's much younger than us.
Oh, he's not that old.
I'm 37, for the record.
He used to be a hunk, right?
He was totally a hunk.
Yeah, like I remember him on Heathers, I think.
Like
Yes.
early
Yeah.
90s
He was the
hot,
brooding guy on
Yeah,
Heathers.
yeah. I kind
What
of
do
liked him.
you remember?
Do I remember?
Yeah, remember when he was like the ham radio guy and he was like.
So
God,
I would
what
have
movie is
been
that?
about 10 or 12 at the time, and so he would have been a lot older than me, and he didn't do it for me.
All right. So rapper Lil Kim.
Asshole.
Yes. She's gone
She's
to jail
got-
for assault.
Because I just didn't think I haven't heard that she died, and I think that would be big news if she did.
This could actually go either way, but I think it's a little obvious. Amy Winehouse.
Dead.
Yes.
So very unfortunately dead.
But I bet she's thrown down and kicked some ass and died her time. She was fucking feisty. Just never got indicted for it.
She had to have gotten thrown out of like a British pub at some point.
For sure. Right? She's like
Yeah.
she was always fucking around. Okay. Ja Rule.
Asshole.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. years ago.
Also, by the way, did you ever see the Firefest documentaries? He
yes.
was like totally in bed with that like total shyster.
Oh my god! And then he tried to play it off at the end, like
Yeah.
he was hoodwinked and everything. It's like if you watch that DVD or the video, it's like he's just in background getting drunk the whole time.
He was. And when they did the interviews
Yeah.
for the Fire Festival, remember? Total narky move. He was like, this is going to be the best party ever.
Tell me what song? Ja Rule. What is there's a hit or two.
Life ain't a game, no.
Yes.
Like Life ain't a games one. I can't remember. Hit a couple.
All
Very
right.
good.
You guys, listen. It goes Austin, Linda, Austin.
Tied?
But by
Are
the
we
way,
tied?
you're literally tied.
Dang,
Okay.
this is good.
Oh, no, you're alternating. So Austin's ahead because he's 5'4", but there's 2 left. You got to win the both, Linda.
All right.
Arnold Palmer.
That's a
Dead.
drink.
Dead.
He's dead. Austin.
Is it
right.
a drink?
It is a drink.
He's a golfer, right?
He's a golfer,
That's what I
but he used to
remember.
drink lemonade and iced tea mixed together, and that's now become the Arnold Palmer. It's not a real drink.
I didn't know it was a real person.
Oh, I love you. All right. From Saved by the Bell fame, Dustin Diamond.
Asshole.
Yes. See, I thought he was dead for sure. No, he's not dead.
No. Screech?
Screech.
Just colossal. Asshole.
I know, but I think that means
We're tied.
it's 6-5.
Who? Did Austin just beat
Austin
me?
beat you.
Fucking A.
That came in hot.
You can't.
You're right.
You saved
Right.
someone from the back room,
Very good job.
Yeah.
and you know who's dead and who's an asshole.
This
So
is
good job.
your day.
I know.
I felt pretty good.
You want to come on more?
Sure.
Do you know any narcissists? You do.
Of
you
course.
do.
I work in the music industry, of course. Yeah.
You do work in the music industry.
Yeah.
We should. Okay. That's
a
a new
lot of
episode
them.
coming up. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. And if you haven't already, check out all of our prior episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And why are you? What are you trying to convey?
Do you want to do Girl Crush or not?
Do you want to do Girl Crush? Did you get one ready?
Well,
Okay, we're gonna.
not
yes.
really.
I'm gonna do. No, I can do a Girl Crush all day.
Well,
Like, I
I'm
love
kind of
girls.
sad and depressed. Austin coming in helped me recover from that. This topic was stupid. Stupid and hard to talk about.
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Important.
I feel you.
I just
Who's your Girl Crush?
Ellen DeGeneres.
What would you do on your girl date?
She would just talk to me and make me laugh.
You're not leaving, Austin. I see you get fidgety over there.
You're not leaving. She would get me through this moment, tell me how to deal with Donald Trump as our president. She would have some insight in that. She would
I bet she does.
She does. You know, she would, I think, talk about the silver lining of it all. And yeah, that's what I would just listen to her talk. She would just make me laugh. She would do stand up for me. It would be amazing. That's what we would do.
My girl crush, I'm just going to go with her since, you sprung this on me. I'm gonna
We
go
do
with
this every episode.
I know. My girl crush is Michelle Obama because we talked about her today. The arms, and how. Look, she is basically my mentor when it comes to parenting. She is a fucking badass mom. You can say whatever you want about her politics. Her kids are goddamn amazing, and that is not by accident. When she was at the Democratic National Convention and she addressed her daughters and she said, "You are the first thing I think about when I wake up in the morning, and you are the last thing I think about when I fall asleep at night." Like that's the mom I want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we would maybe we'd hang out with our kids together, and we would.
Can I go on this date?
You can. You can come on. And we'll maybe plant some vegetables and have some healthy eating and maybe do some shopping and dancing. She's a really good little dancer if you haven't seen her.
Michelle is?
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, she's cool. So, all right. So now you have to tell us, since you can't have a girl crush.
Ending the episode with us.
Who's your man crush? Who's your bro crush? Who do you want to hang out with, dude-wise? Who's the coolest dude you know?
It changes from time to time.
Well, what is it right now?
I would say probably Billy Corgan.
Ooh.
From the Smashing Pumpkins, remember?
Right on.
Billy Corgan, is he back?
Yeah,
he's
kind of back.
Shit?
He got the band back.
He did?
Yeah. And then
Smashing Pumpkins is back?
What? Yeah, and not only did he do that, we're both, I'm a big pro wrestling fan, and he just bought an old pro wrestling company. That he's bringing back. So he's bringing
WWF? Or
no,
WWE?
he's bringing what used to be WCW.
I remember
The
WCW.
NWA, yeah, he bought the NWA, so now he's like the owner of that, and he's bringing it back to the TV and the studios and the old characters, and
no shit.
so he's kind of killing it, yeah. So I was like, good for Billy.
Do you know when I was a freshman at the university I mentioned previously?
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkins came to my university and played in our stadium, and I saw Billy Corgan in
That's
concert.
So awesome.
It was awesome.
Yes,
that was totally the 90s.
Yeah. And not only am I just a huge fan of the Pumpkins, but I was like, yeah, they're back together, and they had a good tour, and he has kids now.
He has really long fingers. I don't know why
he's
I just
huge.
said that.
He's a really big dude.
Guy, but like giant hands.
Yeah.
Not like Trump. Trump has tiny hands.
Yeah, I got to stand
has giant hands.
close in the same room with him before, and he's got to be 6'3". It's it's a lot bigger in person than you would think.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what would you do on your man date?
Probably go to Universal Studios. That'd be cool because I know he's a fan of that, and so am I. So
that's awesome.
Probably go ride some rides.
That's awesome.
That's perfect.
You know what?
Talk music.
You are my favorite impromptu guest ever.
Oh, thank you.
And okay, so thanks for listening. And we're gonna sign off now for real. I'm not gonna tell you where to listen because I said it once already. But yeah, check us out. We have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can send us a message. We'll respond. And thanks for listening.
Bye.